All right, welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. We're here today in the doggy bus. That's what Mac calls it. And obviously it's a tricky name, Mac, because it's hard to tell exactly what the last letter of his name is, but it's short for MacArthur. And we always wanted to call him Mac, so it's M-A-C-K. That's his nickname, Mac. Just because I've seen some people comment M-A-X, like Max, and that doesn't offend us at all because obviously it's hard to distinguish between the two names. But just in case you were curious, it's Mac with a M-A-C-K. And anyways, that's what Matt calls it, the doggy bus. So, and it's because we have the doggy decal on the outside. Probably like the main reason my wife let me buy the bus in the first place, because she thought that dog was funny. And so you've seen the update, most likely, of where we're at. And I filmed that just a few minutes ago. Obviously, the sun's out now, if you know what I'm talking about. I came out here this morning and finished up the last video. So we got the bunk beds done yesterday, and I didn't realize until I was editing that video that a lot of it froze when I was kind of going over the bunk bed. So that's why there was just a time lapse over me talking. But this bottom bunk is going to be closed off pretty much. The couches are going to be back here with storage underneath. And the top couch, it's theater seating style. The top couch is going to be, the seat's going to be this tall. So it'll be back here. There will be a back. I've got to figure out a way to secure the back of the couch to the wall, so if I hit the brakes, it doesn't fall forward. And then the second seating, that's going to be 3 seats wide each, is going to be down here at this height. And so pretty much the only way into that bottom bunk is going to be through underneath this cabinet here. And then there will be this cabinet. The top bunk will be, probably has the most room. And I've got some LED lighting to go around the bus. We've got the TV here, which I realized when I was editing the video I didn't show. And so it swings out, and it's pretty cool. And I got it on Cyber Monday deals. So it's got a sound bar with it, and it's on that pivoting mount. The mount itself is kind of loose, which is fine for a house, but driving down the road, if I take a turn or something, I'm afraid that's going to swing. So I'm going to figure out a way to make like a bushing or something, and keep this from bending quite so easily from pivoting, I mean. And then I'm going to put some foam in here, so if it's closed and we're driving and it's kind of wiggling like that, it doesn't get scratched up. And I've got a few other things. I'm going to figure out a lock for this door here. I've got an eye hook that I'm going to put on the inside here so I can grab the door and close it all the way, because the biggest problem is I can pull this one, and if I reach up here and push this, I can push it all the way closed, this door, but it's tough to, like, there's that gap there, as you know, where if you were on the outside, you could just push it and get them snug together. And so I've got an eye hook I'm going to run through there so I can grab that eye hook and pull it all the way closed. And I'm trying to decide if I close this off with wood up here or if I leave it open, because I don't really care about the aesthetics of this right now. If I leave it open, there's the possibility of making some sort of locking mechanism right there. I may go the easy route, and the top of these doors they're hollow. I can stick something down in there. So I've got another eye bolt that I'm thinking about drilling a hole right up above where that door closes and just sliding that eye bolt in there. That way it can't swing open. Just kind of a simple lock, and it's only removable from the inside. So if we stop somewhere, you know, say McDonald's or whatever, and we're gonna go inside, everybody can go out that door. I can lock it, and then I can just go out the driver's side door and lock that door, and the bus will be locked up nice and tight. There's a back door and a side door in the back. But again, these couches are gonna be here. They're all gonna be removable. And so, you know, where am I going with that? We can, if we take the couches out, we could like access these doors, but I'm not too worried about having access out of the back doors back here. And we have 2 push out windows, but there's one here and the other one's over here. So that one's not going to be really easy to push out. But both the handles are going to be accessible in case, you know, in case we want to, but that one's probably not going to be ever needed. I don't think any of them will be ever needed, but at least we have this one, the 2 back doors and the 2 front doors. So tons of, and the roof hatch. Anyways, before I get rambling too long and make this video boring, I will get started here. I'm going to match this design on the other side. Everything's done for this except some sort of way to have maybe a back for this front little couch, because it's kind of like a bench seat right now. I may make a short back for it that goes up to like the height of the feet of this one, so you could either put your feet up there and be extra comfy or just have something to lean against. So that's the one thing I'm gonna figure out at the end, but I'm gonna get this matched over there, and I'm gonna run to Lowe's today. I've got to pick up a couple more of these 90-degree brackets. I've been using a lot of those to just add extra stability and kind of reinforcement to the body of the vehicle, since you know, like in a home you could just build this freestanding and it's not going to move, but if you go around turns and stuff in a bus, then I'm worried about it sliding around. Anyways, we'll start the time lapse and I'm gonna get working here. All right, what a day. I think I'm gonna call it a day. We've got the lights installed. I'm gonna paint these probably tomorrow. All this, the rest of this wood and this chip I put in that wood right there. But I've still got plenty of that stain or sealer waterproofer left. And this is pretty much sorted out. I've got the seat belts bolted in. Yeah. This is like how tall the back of our couch is at home, so that's what I was kind of going off of. If there's a pillow behind you right there, I think that'll be super comfy. The seat in the back's done. Those lay out like a table. I've been having some trouble with this GoPro and the time lapses, so if that didn't come out, I'll show you here in a bit what that looks like as a bed. And that does it for back there. I may put like one piece of wood underneath there going across the floor just to keep stuff from sliding around. And I've got to build the dinette and this countertop, and we're pretty much done, and just clean it. So it's dirty, but I'm not going to clean it till the end. And the lights look good. So that's it for today. And I didn't put too many lights back there because of the bunk bed, so I just ran this one around that I thought would look cool. All right, so here we are. I just got up in the bus. It flurried this morning. You can't even tell. There's not really anything stuck to the ground, unless you can see some on that wood out there. So let me give you a walkthrough of the bus. Here's why some things look new and I haven't time-lapsed them. Because I get done like in the afternoon or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'm done for today. And then I come out here and I'm like, well, let me just do this real quick, and this real quick, and this real quick. So I start adding little things. So over the past couple of days, I've been doing all of my finals for school, preparation for finals. So I've been pretty busy, and I've just kind of come out here for like 5-10 minutes at a time, putting things together. So I don't think I had this shelf finished in the last video. So I put this little board on here and got these two shelves in, and got them secured so they're not going to go anywhere. Put these non-slip mats on there. I've got these beds done in the little back of this bed. I think I kind of showed you this one with pillows. This will be nice and comfy. These 3 beds sit up to the same height as this, or these 3 sections that make these benches sit up there. And I've got seat belts on all these. There's 3 seat belts on each one. And so there's 6 people can sit right there. And it doesn't look like, I mean, obviously with like a lot more money and different materials, I could make it look a little better, but this works fine. I'm gonna stain the rest of this stuff, and this is like sticking out that far because I wanted to tie it into the wall, and that was the best way to do it without rail running there. And lastly, I think, 2 more things. I have put this is like just a countertop right now. It's gonna be like a shelf or like a cabinets later, but we're gonna get like a fridge and stuff. I don't know what size any of that stuff is, so before I like actually finish this up, I'm gonna get all this stuff that I'm gonna actually put in it to finish that up. So probably just for if we go on this trip for Christmas, it'll just end up staying like this. We'll just store stuff underneath their boxes or whatever. There's a few little pieces missing, like that wood piece on the wall there I've got to put on, and there's a couple of other little wood pieces by the door over there. I've got to do the dinette today, and the other thing I did was these lights. So we've got lighting in the bus. This is like subtle lighting. Obviously there's these lights. They're really bright though, so it's like if you pull up somewhere at night and you just boom, turn the lights on, it's like 100% lights. So we can still use those, but this is like some subtle lighting, and it goes around the stairs here when you walk in. So just some nice subtle lighting to, you know, be able to turn the lights on if it's late at night or something and not, you know, like burn your eyes out. So that's that. We've got to clean. I've got a big old inverter down there, 3500 watt inverter I'm going to wire up with a 300 amp fuse. I've got those 2 batteries for the power bank, and I've got a battery isolator that'll run the power off of the engine when it's running. When the vehicle's not running, it'll pull battery from those 2 batteries in the power bank. I don't know if I've shown the TV yet. Here's this TV and soundbar I've mounted up. The only thing is it's a little loose, so I'm afraid of, like, you know, going through turns and stuff, that this thing is going to want to like move and stuff, maybe hit stuff. So I'm gonna come up with some way to tighten that up, some padding or something, so that when I have this up against the wall here, if we're driving, it doesn't get scratched up. But I just don't want it to break. Scratching's like whatever. These lights are pretty cool. I think that might have been like dim mode. Here's dim mode. There's that. This is like the nicest color in my opinion, because I don't think it has any blue in it. This white has blue light, so that'll mess with circadian rhythm or whatever apparently, but I like that one. Red. You can do like karaoke and stuff with these lights where they change with the sound, but whatever. That's pretty cool. And we'll do the dinette today. So once we do that dinette, or by the end of the day, I'll probably end this video. So that's the update, and I'm gonna get some more one-way vinyl. I finally found the name for this. It's one-way perforated vinyl, window vinyl. So I'm gonna get a couple more pieces of that to put on these windows just to make it private. And those aluminum bars from the overhead rails out there, I'm gonna take the long one of those. I think I'm gonna run it in front of this window, just because like if you're sitting on the back seat right there, you're pretty much leaning against that window, and I don't think it'll fall out, but it's just kind of like worrisome. So I think I'll put 1 or 2 bars on that window just so you can like lean against it and you're not leaning right against the glass. Or if something happens, some rogue rock flies out sideways somehow and hits that window, it's not like, you know, you're gonna fall out the window, or it doesn't feel like that. So it feels a little sketchy, and I'll probably put another bar in front of those windows there where the bunk bed is. But that's it. That's the update for right now. I'm gonna do this dinette here in a bit, and that's it for today. Then we've got to stain stuff probably tomorrow, and I'll probably take this on a 2-hour trip or something tomorrow. I'm gonna get insurance on it today, and that way we can just make sure it's good for driving down the road. And that's it. Oh, here's a question. I may or may not get new, and I put these on. I know I did that in the last time lapse, but I don't know if you could see it. So that'll lock up nice. Here's my question, if anybody knows about this stuff. I know these rear tires don't usually have to have as much tread as the steer tires, So they have a little bit of tread. I don't think I'm worried about replacing these. And they don't look dry rotted, but for some reason, if they should have a lot of tread and they don't, I'll get new ones. So leave it down in the comments down below if you know about that. And I'll see if we'll get new tires on these rear wheels. The front wheels look fine, and again, none of these look dry rotted, so. And these have a ton of tread. Oh, here's the other thing I did. You can't see this anymore. I put some Flex Seal on that and some rust paint, and I've kind of foamed this back up. I'm gonna cut this flat and put the fiberglass in there and finish the rest of that foam. The bottom step, I think I missed. I recorded it somewhere, but I think I may have lost that video. So it's just a piece of wood with 2 bars underneath it, and I'm just gonna Flex Seal everything, make it all nice and waterproof. It's got 1 coat on there. I've got another can of Flex Seal, and yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that that step's nice and waterproof with Flex Seal, and that's how I'm gonna finish preparing that step. Basically, that's it. So you can see the 2 bars running under there with just a piece of wood on it. And those bars are bolted and welded on. And here's how the door locks. This handle works nicely for pulling it closed tightly. Once it's pulled closed tightly, I've got this other eye hook here. I can just slide in. I drilled a hole in the top of the door since it's hollow, and it slides into that door, so then it won't push open. So that locks it up nice and tight, and then I can just go out the driver's door after I lock it up from the inside if we want to make it nice and secure. Okay, that's that. I'll do a time lapse of building that dinette, and I've got some nicer wood for the table and seats of that, since that'll be one of the main sitting areas, I think. All right, so I got this dinette done. Don't know if those time lapses came out or not, but that's done. The only thing I have left to do is I'm gonna cut one of these aluminum poles again for the prop on this side of the table. Then I've got to figure out how to get something like here that'll mount right here so the table can like sit in it. Some sort of hook or something that goes like in it. It's nice and tight. Then when I want to take it down, I can just flip the leg up and put it down. This is like 5'6". My wife's 5 foot tall, and a lot of my in-laws are, you know, below 5'6", especially the women. So this is a nice bed for somebody who's relatively short, or for kids, or if you want to curl up, I don't know, whatever. These beds are long enough. These are 6 foot long, and that's it. So I've got to figure out how to get that leg up, and I'm gonna go ahead and start vacuuming. We've got to stain this stuff. I may get a lighter stain for this because I got a little bit nicer wood for the benches and stuff here. I don't want to leave it raw, so I'll probably get like a honey color stain rather than this dark stuff. And so we'll stain all this dark, maybe the wood underneath this dark, and just the tops of these like in a honey color. And that's pretty much it. This is pretty much done, so make sure everything's nice and sturdy. We're going to take it on a test drive tomorrow. I just got insurance on it, and then I got to get it registered at the beginning of next week, so I'll probably still take it on a test drive with just the insurance and then get the temporary registration or run it long enough for the computer to cycle through for emissions, and voila, this is it. Pretty cool. And a bit more open space than I think I anticipated right here, so that's nice. I just have the bus feel a little bit more open. Oh, I've got to put the seat belts on these as well. These get 2 seat belts, so I'm trying to decide the best way to do that. So I haven't exactly decided yet, but we'll figure that out. I'll probably just run them through this wood back here up against there, and then just leave like some pillows in the corner if you're gonna sleep on here, so you don't have to lay on top of the seat belt. Just maybe keep them tucked out of the way just enough. So we'll see. All right, I've got the power bank set up here. Here's a look at what's going on. It's just tied directly into the truck batteries right now. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get that two battery power bank on there, and once that battery isolator comes in, which should be any day, I've ordered, then I'll hook that up. So I'm just planning on taking this on its first trip up to Lowe's, and the first trip anywhere on the road. So we'll see how it drives. We're gonna go to Lowe's and get some foam for the seat cushions, and I think that's about it. I think we don't need anything else. Oh, maybe I'll get a light colored varnish for these seats here. And all right, that's it. It ran good. We've had it running without turning off for like an hour and a half. So let me make sure it doesn't have a hot no start here. And it has an even crank now. Let's see. Perfect. Got the air out of that system because I was still having long cranks since I haven't driven it anywhere. Starts up nice, and yeah, even crank, so a lot of people were thinking that it had a dead cylinder, but these Fords with the 6.0 and the high pressure oil system, sometimes that'll cause an uneven crank whenever there's air in that system or a leak. So that looks like it was the case, and that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Ernest. We'll get this finished up over probably just tomorrow. I got some stain at Lowe's, some light colored stain for this. And we couldn't find those cushions, but they were not very helpful at all. So I'll probably just order them online and pick them up. But that was the main reason I went there, so that's frustrating. But I didn't want to sit around for half an hour while they were walking around the store doing nothing, pretending like they were helping. And my kids were out here with my wife. So that's it. Looks like this on the outside, and I'm going to leave it because I don't want people to think it's super nice. And yeah, I need to look at the roof, because it's probably gonna have to be sealed or something, so we'll check that out later. See you on the next episode.